Hello.
Morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, good morning, Eric. Okay. So today's topic is about moving to another country, right?
Mm,
Is it my topic or your
yes,
topic?
yes. If you're not sure, you better ask me before the conversation,
Yeah, because I actually yesterday I did uh go back to the previous Google Doc uh
right?
the topic list and I saw that is yours.
Really? Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then okay. Then never mind. I host. Okay. Yeah. So when you are considering whether to move to a country or not, what factor we consider?
Um. Yeah, I think firstly maybe you can think of uh the reason why you want to go there, any incentive for you to go there, and for what purposes, something like that.
Hmm. Yeah. And uh, so talk about incentive. What could be the incentive?
Yeah, the incentive here, maybe let's say a very common one in Malaysia, which is like people they find many job opportunities in uh, the other country like Singapore, which is just beside the state of Johor, and
Hmm.
but they can get a, a better, they can earn a better currency, yeah, which is like three times more than Malaysia's. So
Hmm.
this could be one of the incentive, and also maybe they find that there are more job opportunities than in Malaysia's, and which is providing a better salary.
Yeah. So it is uh about like the job and about like
Mm.
income, all this thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And how about if um, could it be other factor which is not regarding for the jobs?
Mm.
Because you see, let's say let's say uh okay, for example, you have worked in your country, your location for many years already,
Mm.
and normally people will stay at that place, right?
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. And so what makes them have the thoughts want to move to another country?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and my thinking about this is actually just now we say we have incentive, we have the objective, want to go to another country. But I think other than that, actually, there are some obstacles for people to move out from where they live. The obstacles here, actually, let's say for me, is actually the first one is comfort zone, which actually I am already get used to the place that I live, and you can say that it is like too comfortable environment, and then yeah, so that yeah, I think this is something like an obstacle, a uh, mental cost or something like that. And
Mm,
beside that, maybe people have some concerns. Like me, I like to live with my families. Uh, yeah, so this is also can be something that stop you from moving to another country, even if you have the incentive, you have your reason, your purposes to move outside to do something.
mm, mm. But do you think mm, crossing the obstacle and facing the challenge, which maybe you say, oh, move to another country, give you better opportunity,
Yeah.
and do you think it is how to say? Is it really like the good or bad thing, or shouldn't it just be a choice?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Because
could you rephrase your
yeah,
question?
okay, because just now you say this is something like a comfortable zone.
Mm,
But is it really the quote unquote comfortable zone and then make us don't want to face the challenges, don't want to face the obstacle and then try to do the thing? For example, exercise,
mm,
everyone agree that we should do exercise, and many
Yep.
research have been done show that exercise is very good to your
Mm,
brain, to your body, your longevity.
Yep.
And so when we don't want to do exercise, when we lose the motive in the short term, we'll convince ourselves, okay, we need to cross the obstacle, we need to do it, just do it.
Mm.
So we need to jump out from our comfortable zone. Yeah. But how about when you say something like moving to another country?
Mm.
Is it really about the comfortable zone? Is it same?
Um, yeah, I think it depends on uh what what you want.
Yeah, depend on your value. And then so mm, so it back to the first point, because first thing is I ask you what like the motive or what are the factors can determine whether you
Mm.
move to another country or not. And
Yep.
then what thing may stop you? And yeah, of course, you may say a lot of things can also stop us. One of thing is a comfortable zone.
Mm.
But my question for the second point is actually the mm, yeah, just now what is just now what I make one point I make for the second for second part is actually like you already stayed at your place for so many years and you have worked for so many years.
Mm.
If nothing wrong, if nothing uh trigger your conscious that have thoughts want to move to another country, there is no external factor that everything just like very safe,
Mm.
very normal. Yeah. And you won't have the thoughts to move to another country, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then you answer me, okay, uh about the comfortable zone. So this is not like the case to me, at least to me. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's say for you, try to put yourself into the shoes. Will you move to
Yep.
another country?
Um, for me, I think yeah, right now it's because of comfortable zones and also families reasons. So I wouldn't choose, and also I worry about after I move to another country and I'm going to look for a job and then whether I can get the job that I like. Yep. Yeah, this
Mm.
kind of things.
But why comfortable zone play the role at here? Do you really consider want to move to another country?
Uh, I actually don't have this plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you
So
ask me whether I want to go, I would think like yeah, even I have a maybe let's say there is a job opportunity for me which is quite a good offer, and I also would go back to this obstacle.
yeah, yeah. This one I agree, because you have other thing you want to consider, but uh, to me, something more important than the comfortable zones concept is you really need to know what you want.
Mm,
And if somebody offer you a job and then it seems like so attractive, and then you don't know, you are struggling, you don't know how to make the decision, that means you actually didn't aware, you haven't figured out what you really want. Yeah, you are blind. You are blind with the huge reward, the job opportunity in front of you. Yeah.
Mm.
So for example, if I ask you a question, do you want to go to Dubai and do some labor work, which is your like the like the uh the building. So it's kind of like working for the building, and it is
Construction. Yeah.
it's something like that. Construction workers, and it's very dangerous.
Mm.
Yeah, you're risking your life doing those
Mm.
jobs, and but salary is very high. It could be let's say like the 200K or 300K Malaysian ringgit per year, and you just need to work like 3 to 5 years, and you become the millionaire in Malaysia. Then would you consider go to the country and do the job?
Yeah, I think I won't, because first reason is it's too risky, and second reason is yes, it seems like this is yeah, the job nature isn't the one that I really like.
Mm.
Yeah, but of
But
course the salary is appealing.
yeah, but you just need 5 years, and then after that you may do everything what you want to do. And now I believe you are not spending all of your time, that you are doing what you want to do. Mm. So even though maybe on your job, maybe 8 hours or 12 hours, maybe what you really want to do is just treat is it just uh the task is only spend you like 3 to 4 hours per day. You're not going to like every hours, every minutes of the job you want to do. But after getting the the money, maybe you can really just work as you like. And another thing is, you say risky. How much risk is it? Have you did your research, or you just think like the worst case scenario thinking? Yeah, sorry. And you just think, oh, it's risky, but how much risky it is? You do you really understand about it?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think mm, maybe sometimes we too often use the comfortable zones as an excuse without really understanding the thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And so this is the internal factor. Just now we keep talking about internal factor. Can it be the external factors that uh, make you uh, better off if you move to another country?
Um. Factor of and external factors. Uh. So can just now comfortable zone is something internal, right? And
Mm. And you understand
external,
what you want. Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So external could be like the salary, the money you make.
Wouldn't it also be what you want? Maybe you
Yeah.
need to sacrifice your other things, other important things. For example, family, and for example, like mm, friendship. Yeah. For example, like maybe the what's it called, the nostalgia. Mm,
Mm. Yeah.
mm. So I mean, if there's no if yeah if this is not because of you. It's not because of you. You want something, so you move to another country. But could it be you are forced to move to another country because of the
Oh,
environment? Yeah, maybe your country is no longer safe. Maybe your
yeah.
country, maybe the currency, maybe the government issues cause you have to leave the country.
Mm,
Just like a lot of Chinese, very rich Chinese in Malaysia, they are forced. We cannot say they are forced. We cannot say yeah they are forced, but they kind of like being pushed to an situation that's they move to another country will be better off. For example, like Mr. Guo, uh, Guo Henian, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, he's a Malaysian, but he moved to another country and he he gave up the Malaysian citizen, right?
Mm, yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
And
So
also he
you,
sold his businesses, right, in Malaysia.
yeah,
One of
yeah.
the major one.
And do you think it could happen on you?
Um, External. I think currently no.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, because we have no war or what, and
Yeah. But how long
yeah.
you can see? I mean, how long the future you can see? How short the future you are seeing? Yeah. So it means what is the possible future you are seeing? Is it within 1 year, within 2 years, or within 5 years? What is the risk? What is the probability?
Mm. Yeah, and also even if there is something, let's say, external factors make you a better choice to move to another country, then also uh, you also need some qualifications in order to become the citizen of other country, right?
What qualification?
Yeah, just like you want to move to another country, can they let you stay there for and maybe let you to become the permanent resident? Yeah, you have to uh, fulfill some uh, something so that you can do that.
Put yourself in the government shoes. What would you consider when whether accept a foreigner to become a permanent resident or citizens in your country?
Yeah, I think he must be uh, able to contribute. Yeah, maybe they won't. Yeah, if you want to become the resident, mm, yeah, I think maybe you need to um, you need to be like talent and then contribute to the country.
Mm, yeah. Do you have that? Is it so called the qualification you mentioned just now?
Yeah, actually, I'm not very sure what qualification they need. Yeah, for other countries.
No, I mean this is the thing you mentioned. I mean of course you need something to kind of like to show your identity. Of
Yeah.
course you need that because you
Yeah.
need to apply. You need to apply for permanent residence. You need to apply for citizen.
Mm.
And but if you want to say about the qualification, maybe in some country, yes. For example, at least your education level must be, let's say, must be a diploma or degree. Yeah, for
Yeah.
some
Maybe
country.
you need to be rich.
Yeah, maybe. Uh, but you see, not many people are rich. 90% of the world is not rich. Mm.
Yep.
I mean, at least you can contribute to the society. They'll be good. Yeah. And a country, they view the human resources very important. Mm. Yeah, of course, the time can change, the environment can change. Sometimes they just don't want a low skill level comes into their country because it kind of like steal the job from their local. Mm. So yeah, so you still have to prepare for yourself. Maybe you need to have the qualification. You need to have some talents. Mm. You can contribute to the society. Mm. So yeah, this is something that uh you may need to prepare if you foresee there's a horrible futures in your country. Mm. Or maybe at least give yourself more opportunities and try to imagine one thing which is you don't have the ability to move to another country, or the country or there's no country you want to move to. Yeah.
Mm.
So another analogy is it because you don't want to get a high mark,
Yeah.
or you don't have the ability to get a high mark?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a very serious question to ourselves. We
Mm.
really need to be honest to ourselves and answer
Mm.
these questions radically honest.
Yeah. And also, it can be like whether is you want to choose the country or the country choose you.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. And also, one of the thing is, yeah, I found that actually 1 year ago, my response to this topic is like, yeah, maybe, I can move to another country. Yeah, maybe after I retire, I can move to another developing country
Mm.
to enjoy my life. Then I can spend more. Yeah, my money value will become uh, greater if I live in another country. And but my attitude is, yeah, if there is other cities in Malaysia in my home country can provide the same benefits, I will go to I will move to the city first. For example, like Malacca, for example, Penang, or maybe Pahang, like other cities
Mm.
or other place. But now actually, I have another view, which is about the security and also about the safety. And security and safety is very ambiguous idea. And okay, maybe it's not that ambiguous, but what I want to say is it's something that you couldn't see it in short term. And one thing you have to know, most of the people they couldn't see long terms. They couldn't really lower their time preference and see the very long term. For example, 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, what will happen?
Mm.
And to make a good decision, you really need to see that long. Yeah, so that you can prepare for yourself. Mm. And so what does that mean about the security, about the safety? Try to imagine you spend decades, you spend most of the time in your home country and build your wealth, build your family, build everything, build a relationship, all of those things. And one day, your government and your country, the ranking or the grade being degraded by the SP, the Standard Poor, and or by the Moody's or by any other rating agency from, let's say, now I think we are BBB plus, triple B, BBB plus. And what if the ranking drop to D or drop to C minus? This is near to default. So there is a very high risk. Your country, your government are going to default the debt. So your currency is going to worth like almost zero, maybe not zero, but the hyperinflation, or maybe not hyperinflation, because economists define hyperinflation is very, very, kind of like a very extreme, and the most extreme case. For example, like 50% inflation rate per month is so extreme, and you don't need that to make your life tough, to make your life miserable. You just need 10% per month, or just need, maybe you just need 1% per month, and in a whole year 12% per year. It will make you miserable enough.
Yeah.
So what I say is more than that. Maybe 10% per month, or maybe your currency value really drop a lot compared to the US dollar, compared to other strong currency, and then your countries will become very terrible, will become very hard to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it can happen. It really can happen. Yeah. So yeah. So now I start to think about the security and also about the safety. And if I think in this way, that means maybe the money and also the capital we think that will be enough for us to retire may not enough. Yeah. For example, you think, oh, 1 million is enough in Malaysia to retire, at least for your case. By considering this security, by considering this safety, maybe 1 million is not enough for you.
Yep.
Maybe you need 1.5 million, maybe you need 2 million. Yeah. But we also couldn't deny that is this system make us lower our time frames, lower our time preference, and make us focus on the current and cannot see the longer term, because it really can't predict, and we need to prepare the margin of safety much more than the threshold in order to keep us safe. Yeah. So yeah, this is things. This is a very serious thing, and this is important thing, and I don't think many people really aware that. Really see the risk. Yeah. And yeah. One another thing which is about the security, about safety, which is you spend most of your time in your home country to build your wealth. And if your wealth, and including your properties, stay, and also including most of your assets, and also the money in your bank account, stay in Malaysia, right? And what if things really goes wrong? Do you think that we can you can withdraw all the money, all the assets out of your bank account? You can sell your properties and really got the full amount of money, or really or nearly full amount of your wealth, and then you can get out of your countries. For example, let's say 2 million initially you think, okay, 1 million is not enough for you to retire because you need to prepare for a risk. And okay, now you increase your threshold to 2 million. Okay, now assume you have achieved your 2 million, but most of your wealth stored in your home country, and maybe mostly it's a property. What if your currency? What if your domestic currency value drop a lot?
Mm.
Your properties, because it's relatively scarce than the money and scarce in other things, so your property value will increase in terms of your home country's currencies. But what it will look like in terms of others' currency value, it will also drop. Because why people want to pay higher price to go to a country which is not safe and spend so much money to buy a property?
Yeah.
No point. So the property value in terms of foreign country, in terms of the foreign currency will drop. The value definitely will drop. And then, so 2 million, how much you left? Percentage is really, really terrible. And cut half, 2 million become 1 million. Yeah, drop 50%. How much you have? Even you have 1 trillion, suddenly become 500 billion. The more you have, the more you lose. This is percentage. Yeah, and this is terrible. And you can't really prepare that much, because now if let's say you assume your currency value will drop 50% before you can sell your property and then convert into foreign currency, and also assume your government didn't tax you. What if you think that the currency value will drop 50% in that scenario, and then you need to prepare 4 million, right? 4 million cut half become 2 million, and 2 million is just enough to stay in another country which have high living costs. And how about now government want to tax you 50% if you really want to go out of the country, if you sell your properties? Now you need 8 million, right?
Yeah, never enough.
Yeah. So the risk here is really much more than people think. Yeah, it is just a mathematics, and if you don't have the mathematic mindset, you can't have this kind of thoughts. You can't really price the security. You can't really price the risk of the safetyness. Yeah. Yeah. So this is everything I want to mention in this topic.
Yeah. Yeah. But if these kind of things happen, then yeah, it means move out to another country also. It's kind of like too late, right? If this really happen and then you need to move out. Yeah, and just now we just do some simple calculation and found that yeah, maybe you really need a lot of wealth so that yeah, so that move out is kind of like better off. Is it?
No, if you don't move out, this is just more terrible. Poor people will also move out. They don't have property, they don't have a lot of money, they won't be taxed so much, and then move to another country, they start all over again. Yeah. But this is one of the things you need to know, that even though this is not the good thing. Yeah, you have to start all over again, and you become older. You spend most of your life, you spend most of your time in your home country. Then you lose all your you lose all your previous accumulations. You have to start all over again. This is definitely not a good thing. For the rich man, yeah, even though they're being taxed a lot, but at least they still left a fraction of it. At least they can outperform those people who don't have any wealth and have to start all over again. At least they are better off than them. Right?
Yep.
So moving out is your only choice. Otherwise, you will stay in your home country and you will struggle with the currency. You will struggle with your daily life. Really, literally struggle with your daily life. Yeah, even though nowadays most of people already struggle with their daily life. Yeah, but is it more terrible than you think? Try to watch some documentaries in Venezuela. They're from in Venezuela, from in Zimbabwe. Venezuela previously is a G20 country, or I'm not sure whether it's G10 country or G20 country, which is the strongest, the top 10 or top 20 country that have the highest GDP. But now Venezuela experience hyperinflation. At least for me, yeah, not the definition of the economy's hyperinflation, like 50% per month or 1,000% inflation rate per month. Yeah, but to me, it's just a hyperinflation because you cannot live. You don't have any you don't have any chance to change your life anymore if you keep staying at that place. You just don't have any chance, and your life is threatened. You can die at every moment. At those kind of scenario, violence is the only way to live. Yeah, to survive. Yeah, really just survive, to support your living. You need to apply violence on other people so that you can get some wealth. You can get the foods, you can get what you want. Yeah. And yeah, people can also apply violence on you. So this is definitely not a good place to stay. And in that scenario,
I think it is like
yeah, and in that scenario, you can really say whether you still want to stay in your comfortable zone or not. But this is not the comfortable zone anymore. Yeah, right. If you are normal people and can think, can act, you will move out from the country. If you have the ability to think to think. Yeah.
It is just hard to imagine, and I think I really maybe need to go and see some documentary if I really want to know it, because I wonder how the remaining people inside there and does the like the religion, hospital, school. I just couldn't imagine how chaotic in that country.
Yeah. And so what's your choice and how do you prepare for that? Maybe you need to store some wealth in foreign country. Maybe you can both maybe instead of invest in your home country, and you may need to invest in other country, and your country cannot take away from that wealth. For example, you bought a piece of land, you bought a property in foreign country. Yeah, this is something that the asset is denominated by other countries' currency, and the piece of asset is stay in the foreign country. Yeah, and you say you buy the stock, I'm not sure. Let's say if you are using the Malaysia, the facility provided by the institution, financial institution in Malaysia, to buy the foreign countries' stock to invest in, let's say, the US stock market. I'm not sure whether it will affect the ability of you when you want to get back your money. I'm just not sure. Maybe you can get back full amount if you move. Let's say, for example, you use some platform, no matter it's like eToro, or no matter like IBKR or some others like Tiger, Moomoo, a lot. And you do the wire transfer, or you convert your Malaysian ringgit into the US and stay in the account, and then you can transfer the money to another country's bank account. For example, you have a bank account in US. So register a bank account in US bank, so you can transfer money to the US bank. So that means you can take out your money. You don't need to withdraw your money through
the local bank.
Through your local bank, through your government. So that means the government don't have the ability to really confiscate or steal your wealth or tax your wealth. So it also raised to another point, which is I don't have any. Now, right now, I don't really understand why people still want to invest in their local market. I mean, the stock market. There's so much risk, and the growth is not significant. Look at the US stock market. SP 500, now dropped a lot, but it's still up around. If I'm not wrong, it's still up around like 30+%. Start from 2020. I forget, maybe 60% or 30%, I forget. And Nasdaq is also go up a lot, it's around 65%. It's around at the all-time high, even though it dropped a lot. But if you look at the Malaysian market, there's no time to reach the all-time high since around 2014 or 2013, if I wasn't mistaken. And you are not sacrificing the growth, because in local market it couldn't grow well compared to US market. And money flow to US market, money not flow to your domestic market. And this is one thing, this is a risk, the growing. And the second risk is it's about the security, the currency risk, which is one thing I mentioned just now. So if you price in everything, and then that makes you no point to invest in local market. And it kind of like becomes a negative loop. If your local market didn't do well and no people are willing to invest in your local market, and most of money will flow to US, and the US dollar will become stronger and stronger, and other countries, the economy and also the currency, the stock market will become weaker and weaker, and people are not willing to go IPO in your domestic country if they can choose to go IPO in US market. And US market will just attract more and more great company, but local market will just started to lose the competitive advantage. So and it actually contribute the risk even more. So it become like the loop, negative spiral. Of course, if your current country if your domestic country is economy is good, then yeah, it's another story, because people do business, people willing to go IPO in local markets, because even in this in the whole environment, other companies don't do well, you are doing well. Yeah, but if you look at the overall economy and you look at the policy that made by your country, is it really great? How about the sustainability? So it's something that's more than bigger than our today's topic, because it relates to the macro environment. So this is also one of the reasons I say that most of people couldn't see that far, the future that far, just because they don't have the ability or their current environment force them to focus on their on the daily life. They couldn't think far. Yeah, but I think at least now we still have the time. We still to prepare this, to kind of like really understand this thing, and then prepare if needed, as needed. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you can think, yeah, it never happened on me. It will never happen on me. Yeah, you can think like that. This is your choice. But for me, yeah, I don't want to think like that. Yeah, even though I was wrong, my country is very safe. It doesn't matter. I still will become better off if I invest in, let's say, if I store my wealth in other stronger currency, yeah, or in other market which is stronger, I still can be better off. Yeah. So yeah, this is everything I want to add in.
Right. So we not only cover like whether we ourselves physically want to move to another country, but also like we consider the wealth, right? Because yeah, people can move, but how about your wealth? That's also something very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else want to add in?
Yeah, I think no.
Yeah. So talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow, Eric.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.